Okay. So, my issue is about e-cigarettes because I know on college campus you see them everywhere. Just like walking around campus, people are smoking them, or at bars, you see people with them all the time. So, I want to let you know the harms of like how they can hurt your body and hurt the people around you, and they are not meant for us. They're meant for people who already smoke cigarettes and are trying to get off of nicotine. So, first of off, they're also super popular with high school students, which is shocking to me because um, most high school students aren't even 18, so they can't even buy it themselves. So, there has been a 900% increase in use of e-cigarettes, or there was a 900% increase in use of e-cigarettes from 2011 to 2015, according to the 2016 report from U.S. Surgeon General. And the e-cig industry is growing at a rate of 42% each year. Um, and they just came out in the early 2000s in China, and now they're growing to the U.S. and now they're so popular. Like every street you turn on, there's a vape store or something, and so there's a lot of chemicals that in e-cigarettes that will harm you. So I'll break it down. So there's two like main types of e-cigs. There's like the big one that has like the battery and the tank and the liquid, and then there's also like a small one with like a little stick, like a jewel, and it has a pod that is just like a nicotine liquid. And the big ones have the liquid is like a small amount of nicotine, but the things like jewels have like a ton of nicotine in it. Like one pod is a whole pack of cigarettes, or has the same nicotine as a whole pack of cigarettes. And so in the liquid, there's a bunch of different chemicals such as nicotine, um, pro- propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, and then a bunch of like additives and flavorings. And then there's also formaldehyde and diacetyl, I think. I don't know how to say that, but the diacetyl, like that can cause popcorn lungs, so or popcorn lung, and there's also other chemicals that can cause like heart disease, but the nicotine or the liquid has a lot of effects. Like it can really hurt your body. We don't know the long-term effects because they haven't been out for too long, so obviously we don't know what they're going to do to our body in 40 years because um, they haven't been out that long. But we know what those chemicals can do to your body, so like those chemicals are in the liquid, so like they most likely will cause those effects. So yeah, you can get heart disease and popcorn lung, like just cancer, and that's not good for you. And if you're pregnant, like I don't think, hopefully, none of young college students are pregnant, but um, if you are pregnant, it can cause birth defects and a lot more like negative things for your baby and for you. Um, and it's not just about like your own health. Like, of course, um, like whenever you put something in your body that's not supposed to be there, it'll have negative effects. But you don't think about what it could do to the people around you. Because these like e-cigs, like if something happens to you, that's gonna hurt your friends and family. Uh, it's not like you have to think about others whenever you're making a bad choice for your own body. And also, um, e-cigs can blow up. It's not super likely, but the big e-cigs with the big battery, um, they'll blow up. And like it's the same battery like in your computer, but like in your computer, it's like on your lap or on your desk or something. It's not directly like in your mouth, like on your face. So there was a guy in Florida in let's see, in 2000, or no, it was earlier this year in May. There's a guy in Florida who died from hitting an e-cig because it blew up in his face. And then there was, but like, so like that's how it affects you. But also there was in 2014 there's a girl at Universal Studios in Orlando, and someone had an e-cig next to them in their pocket, and it blew up, and of course it hurt themselves, right? Like they got burns, but there was a 14-year-old girl standing in line next to them, and she got burned. So you have to, whenever you bring these e-cigs into a place with other people, you have to think about what it'll do to them and what it'll do to you. And also, there was a study by Wolfgang Schuler from the Bavarian Health and Food Safety Authority, and they found that vaping, like you can get secondhand smoke from or from regular cigarettes, but you don't really think about it getting it from e-cigarettes because they have like different flavors. Like it smells good, you don't think it'll hurt you, but that study actually showed that it lowered the air quality and increased levels of PAHs, nicotine, and aluminum in the air. So it can actually, like the vape can actually hurt the people around you. And then, like, e-cigs have been, or smoking has been a problem for a super long time. We know that whenever our parents and grandparents were younger, everyone smoked cigs, and they didn't realize how bad it was going to be, but for their bodies. But history repeats itself, and now it's e-cigarettes, and everyone does it, and they don't think about like what it'll do to them later and what is going to happen, like how it's going to affect their body. But it has the same effects as, or not the exact same. Like yes, it's better than smoking a cigarette. If you're going to smoke, don't smoke a cigarette. But it really does, like it really like it's not good for you, and it's not meant for us. And one thing I would like to point out about marketing e-cigarettes is like it's marketed towards young people, which isn't fair because we don't, it's like e-cigarettes weren't invented for us, but it's marketed towards us. Like if you walk into a vape store, there'll be like a back to school sale, and like obviously that's targeted at students, not at the older generation who have smoked cigarettes. So I think it should be marketed differently. And something I'm really like feel strongly about is that there should only be a tobacco flavored nicotine liquid instead of like mint and fruity flavors, because I don't think that, like me personally, I would never smoke something that's tobacco flavored because I hate that taste and that smell. Like I would never want to do that. And but like something fruity or mint, like I might like try that because that tastes good. So if it was truly meant for the non or for smokers, then I think they should only have a tobacco flavor because that's how they will transition from smoking cigarettes to smoking e-cigarettes. And the marketing has been a problem for a long time. Like back in the in like I think it was 1963. I'm pretty sure it was. Joe Camel for Camel cigarettes came out, and it was like this cartoon camel, and everyone knew who he was. Even like little kids, they knew like Joe Camel was for Camel cigarettes, the same as they knew like Mickey Mouse was like to Disney. So everyone knew who he was, and he like there was a big trial on that because they thought that the Camel cigarettes were trying to target little kids and get them wanting to smoke cigarettes because they were advertising it with Joe Camel, or advertising cigarettes like using Joe Camel. So like, oh, like this cute little cartoon animal smokes cigarettes, so I want to smoke cigarettes too. So marketing has always been a huge problem, but I just really want everyone to know how much e-cigarettes can affect you, your own health, and the people around you's health. Like smoke in the air, like it really does affect everyone. And if something did happen to you, like that would really hurt your family and hurt your friends, and like everyone like needs to like make the decision on how they want to live their lives and stop using e-cigs. And